Alright, so I think that this is going to be the last video on cost curves, and I think, and I'm not 100% sure because if you guys have any questions, I'll do some more videos, and definitely as time goes on, this may need to be updated. But I think that this should be a pretty complete coverage of it, and I'm excited to be done with it, actually. So this last one, we're going to do a little bit of work on getting this marginal cost curve right here, this blue line. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start over here on the right, and we're going to completely ignore the graph on the left, and then we'll work back and kind of check our answer with the graph on the left. Okay, so the first thing is that I had to go ahead and give you the quantity for each of these number of workers. So at 4 we produce 30 units of output, we produce 30 surfboards, and at 5 we produce 36 surfboards. So I'm just going to go ahead and write in here we have 30 there and we have 36 here. So I want to know, you've already figured out what points C, D, and E were. That was the last video. And I've gone ahead and given you that point H is 7,000. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a couple dotted lines. So point H is 7,000, point G is 5,000, and then point F is 2,000 again. So I want to know what is the marginal cost of, let's say, so I'll write this out a little bit more clearly. So assume you're producing 30 units of output, producing 30, and I'm going to just write surfboards. What is the marginal cost? What is the MC, marginal cost, of producing 6 more surfboards? And believe it or not, you have all the information you need just from this total cost graph. So let's go ahead and work through it. So we know that marginal cost is just equal to the change in total cost, and I'm just going to write TC, divided by the change in output, and I'm going to write change in Q rather than output, the change in quantity. And we can calculate all of that from the graph that we have over here. So I'm going to start in the numerator in the top, and we know that the change in total cost is just the difference between H and E. So that will be 7,000 minus 6,000. Then the change in quantity, and that's why I had to give you these two quantities here, otherwise you couldn't calculate the change in quantity, is just going to be 36 minus 30. So this will give us that the marginal cost per unit, I should have said the average marginal cost, or the marginal cost per unit, so I'll just write marginal cost per Q, of producing 6 more surfboards is equal to 7,000 minus 6,000 is 1,000, and then 36 minus 6 is 6. And I went ahead and did this division ahead of time because I didn't want to do it out by hand, and that's 166.67. So that's $166.67. So the first thing, I hope I didn't confuse you with this marginal cost divided by Q thing, but what I'm saying here is that the marginal cost of producing 6 more surfboards, if I were to get rid of this Q, so imagine that I just erased this Q, the marginal cost of producing 6 more surfboards would be $1,000. It would just be the numerator. And that's never what we've been calculating here. We've always been calculating the average marginal cost. And that's why I put that average marginal cost in parentheses in the Excel spreadsheet when we started out. So this is the marginal cost per unit of producing 6 more units. And then if you wanted the marginal cost for all 6 units, the marginal cost for the group of 6, then you would just multiply it by 6, which would obviously be 1,000. Okay, so I hope I haven't confused you. If I have, let me know. That was kind of a little bit of a rant there, just to kind of clarify that. But now we're going to get back to the kind of the coolest part of this entire thing, which is checking this answer with the graph that we have over on the left. So we are expecting marginal cost to be $166.67 at 36 units of output. So that will be the marginal cost of producing those extra 6 units when we were already at 30. And lo and behold, we move over here and we look at 36 units of output. We go up to the marginal cost curve, which is the blue one, and we go over here, and that looks like it's about 2/3 of the way in between 100 and 200, which would be 166.67. So this is one of the most kind of detail-oriented micro concepts in microeconomics. It really is kind of down to the nitty-gritty of it. So if any of this doesn't make sense, please don't hesitate to let me know, and I'll kind of tutor a couple of videos, tailor a couple of videos just to what your questions are. And hopefully that will clarify it, because if you're having questions, I'm sure there are other people that are having the same ones. Alright, I hope that was clear, and I'll see you in the next video.